Well, here we are, blade fans, back again. OG Blade Reviews with you. And I've got some interesting things to show you today. These have all, for the most part, been reviewed, but a long time ago. But what I'm trying to do today is introduce you or reintroduce you to a collection I have of Morgan Koens customs. They're mostly all customs. However, I'm going to show you a couple of his production designs as well. He is a very notable and prolific knife maker, knife designer from Canada, from the Ontario area of Canada. He likes to kind of do a lot of outdoor stuff, and very quickly I'll just say that he comes up with designs like spur of the moment. He'll throw them up on Instagram, say, "What do you think?" Next day or two, you got a finished knife that he's showing. And I do have a few that were unique and of my design, but for the most part, these are ones that he just pops up on Instagram. They're there for a day or less, and then they're gone because he's got a following, and they really get scooped up. Not to mention that he's got some amazing designs out there with companies like Bestech. So showing you kind of a close-up here of some real interesting sheaths too. I could do a whole video just on these two sheaths that were done by Augusta Leather out in Ohio, I believe. Took a few months, but the thing about Morgan's knives is if you order a custom from Morgan, you're not going to necessarily get a sheath. That's kind of like you order a knife from some companies, let's say Station 9, and you don't get a clip for the sheath, but you get a sheath. So I contacted Augusta Leather, this was years ago, and I want to thank Tier 1 Gear Reviews, Justin over there, for tipping me off about Mr. Guster, Peter Guster. Just amazing, amazing work. So again, you might even be looking at the sheaths and say, "Hey, tell me more about the sheaths." But for now, I'm just going to say they are amazing, as you can see, custom sheaths. But we're really today talking about the knives, and the very first one that I got from Morgan, I'm pretty sure this was it, is this fullered tanto. This is made from Nitro V. Let's see if I can get out just a little bit more here. There we go. Look at this guy. We've got a Cocobolo handle. I saw this in a picture from like a year or two earlier that he had made and said, "Wow, you got to make me one like that." And so he came pretty close. It wasn't exact, but one thing that he did too is do kind of the bamboo, the faux bamboo hollows here, and the joints that you might see on bamboo. Beautiful, again, Nitro V, bead blasted finish. Look at the fuller. Runs all the way almost out to the point. Some people said, "What's going to happen when you sharpen that back and you're going to be right onto that fuller?" I think unless this was being used for daily processing of food or what have you, or as a butcher knife, that you're not going to lose all that steel. But then again, it is definitely a usable knife, but mainly an art knife. Again, beautiful Cocobolo handle, and it is a large knife. Since I did individual reviews on each of these, and I'm just kind of doing a tribute to my Morgan Koens or Koenscraft collection today, I'm not going to go over all the specs, but it's 13.5 inches long with an 8-inch, roughly, maybe a little bit more than that, blade. But it is light and it is maneuverable. Let's see if I can get out yet a bit more. Yeah, there we go. Now I got a little more room to play with. Flat grind, large. This is kind of a hallmark of many of Morgan's custom fixed blades, is the really large fuller. I mean, we're talking, you're going to see that on this buoy knife as well. You're going to see a fuller of like over half an inch, coming up close to 3/4 of an inch in width. And it's shallow, but it does lighten the blade beautifully. It's great in the hand. It's a flat, fairly narrow handle. And again, Bead Blast Nitro V. Oh yeah, crowned spine on this guy. I had asked for that. Not sure you can see it. Yeah, there you go. So it's flat here, and there's a transition to a crown spine right about there. Beautiful, beautiful tanto, particularly if you like, I guess I'd have to call it a chisel point tanto. It's sort of a hybrid, really, of a traditional with a chisel point tanto. Then we get to his fullered buoy. This may have been the first one, actually, that I picked up before the tanto. The fullered buoy, look at this guy. Cocobolo on that, but we've got a very nice, rich, I think it's a canvas burgundy, or no, brown really, micarta on this guy. I darkened them down a little bit using some, actually a leather preservative that soaks into the micarta, because the micarta tends to get very dry and dusty looking. Certainly, you use it enough, it's going to pick up the oils from your hand, but this sort of makes it even. And truth be told, these are more collectibles for me than users. They could certainly easily be users. Full choil on this guy. Again, there is your same kind of large fuller that you see on the tanto. Nitro V on this guy as well. Morgan has changed his marking somewhat since these. This is his name in script. And I think it says Koenscraft with the crowns. Yeah, he's got that on both sides on this one. Nicely contoured handle. Got a spot for your thumb, should you want to rest your thumb there. You know, this could be certainly a medium-size fighting buoy for sure. I say medium, it's not a large one. It's 7 inches long on the blade, 12.5 inches overall length. Again, Nitro V, a good stainless, and he does all his own heat treating. I think he brings that Nitro V up to at least 60, 61. I'm pretty sure it's at least in the 60s. We've got an interesting stone wash going on here. It's kind of a hybrid stone wash with Bead Blast. And I'd show you more about the sheaths, but you can see, I mean, tribute to Peter Guster, man. Oh, you should see his stuff if you haven't already on Instagram. I forget actually what this is. It's like an antique canvas, and I forget the leather that he put in that insert there. But you're going to spend some good money on those sheaths, but they are heirloom quality, literally heirloom quality. Going to bring out another big one, and see if I can just remember the name of this guy. Well, the Commando. Look at this. Here's another custom sheath from a whole different company, Black Bear Kydex up in Maine. Oh, he does some of the best Kydex work. I'm sure you know some people that do tremendous Kydex, but look at this basket weave and the tan, desert tan to go with the handle, the black. And I have to tell you something after we take a look at this blade, which is beautiful. Double-edged spear point, and again, that giant fuller down the middle. This handle was hand dremeled by Morgan. He just kind of freehand patterns it, because I'd asked for a texture, and he didn't want to repeat a previous texture, so he said, you know, what if I do, you know, I forget what the pattern is, but kind of freehand it, and just look at that. It's totally unique. You're not going to see that handle pattern again. And this one is out of a Desert Tan G10. Got a red liner there that I requested for, again, a large knife. It handles so well. 13 inches overall, 7 3/4 inch blade. This could be your do-it-all combat blade. And again, I think it's Nitro V. Let me just check. Yep, Nitro V on this guy as well. You know, it is a bit difficult getting a beautiful custom knife and then having to get the sheath. But I think Morgan is starting to turn out more sheaths by some people he knows up in his area. Nonetheless, I'm real glad that I got the Black Bear Kydex and the Augusta leather sheaths for these three. Again, a deep fuller there. We've got the kind of carbonized tiger stripe going on there, each one being a little bit different than the next. Nice grip on this. Just, I'd say, just right for me. Even with gloves on, you can handle this quite well. Nicely contoured. There you can see the liner. That, again, is the Commando. Now, none of these are like boilerplate designs where you can say, you know, I want your Commando. He may or may not make this anymore. He could probably replicate it for you, but he doesn't have stock designs. Very few custom makers have stock designs. They may for a while, and then they may change to something else. With Morgan, it's, I don't want to say whimsical, but it's super creative. He just gets an idea. He makes like these war hammers and clubs and everything you can imagine. He is like an artisan as far as making cool weaponry-oriented stuff. Now here is one that I designed myself from scratch. He has made a few others like this since because they were popular when he showed it on Instagram. This I'm calling the traditional Japanese tanto. I wanted that traditional style handle with the swell or swale in the middle here. And not too long a knife. This one is an S35 VN. It is overall a medium-sized knife of 10.5 inches, or you could call it large. About 5 3/4 inch on the cutting edge. Nice balance. A little handle heavy, but really not that bad at all. Again, this is another one with kind of a burgundy, I would call it, micarta on it. And he also hand-carved this with a Dremel. This design, kind of a dog tooth design, I think is what he called it. Pretty thick stock on the blade. I would say this is like around 3/16, pretty sure. 4.8 millimeter. Yeah, 0.19. So a little better, no, actually right in there about 3/16. I'm not good with the decimals and converting to fractions. Sorry about that. We've got a nice satin grind on here that I requested with bead blast flats. That is the traditional tanto is what I'm calling it. They don't have set names. And I'm going to have 2 more customs coming out, and I do have a few more than what I'm showing today, but I just want to kind of keep the numbers down there. How about the ringed Pikal? This is a real knockout. This is stabilized maple, purple. And, you know, I'm not huge on knives with rings on the end, but I think he was already turning this particular design out, and I grabbed the one real quick that had this purple maple, stabilized maple on it. It's a really cool design. He was going to bring this edge all the way back here, but he wanted a platform for the thumb in case you want to hold it in this point up, edge out position. It is almost full double edge, kind of a bayonet grind. Again, large fuller in the middle, broad spade-like blade, even though it is very stabby. You still get some cutting action out of that. You could avoid the ring completely if you wanted to. You could pinky ring it. You could, very large ring here, plenty of room. Bring that light down just a little. Look at that wood, huh? Nicely smoothed out in here. The ringed Pikal. And amongst the customs, last and certainly no way least, make room for the neckbiter Sachs. He's got the runes on the one side there. And I believe that says neckbiter. He's got a fuller here with a design, sort of a fuller, maybe not a fuller. It's kind of an antiqued finish here. We've got rich light that's been dyed and patterned for the handle. Very squared off with a pretty powerful persuader here. Wedge shape. And again, for a large knife, it is not that heavy. Right at my limit of the background there, so I'll do my best to show it off by bringing it way down there. And what have we got for this guy? It is big. It's a small machete size thing. 17.5 inches overall with a 12-inch blade. Yeah, man. And he compound ground it. We've got, not sure that's a hollow. It does feel like that front portion could be a hollow. Flat grind back here, chopping, whatnot, but definitely a war style knife for sure. I'm gonna see if I can make some room for it. Might not get it all on the table. Yeah, she's a wicked beast. Check it out. The neckbiter Sachs. This one is yet to get a sheath. These have yet to get sheaths, but that day will come. What I would like to show you is, since we're kind of paying tribute to Morgan today, is to show you the Keen 2 by Bestech. Now this was one that Morgan designed back a few years. Well, I think the Keen 2 came out maybe about a year ago. There was the Keen 1, which I didn't get to see. Morgan had a small quantity of these available at his shop that had been sent to him by Bestech. And he asked me if I wanted them customized. And so he was doing anno work, and I said, yeah, I love bronze anno. So he did the titanium side of the knife in a bronze anno. And what are they using for a steel? S35 on this guy. It is a large folder. We've got, what do we got going on here? We've got an overall knife of 10 inches, just a little under, 4¼ inch blade. And he does like his large folders, yet it's quite lightweight. He had a couple types of carbon fiber. I went for the kind of traditional twill. Nice shine to it, nice reflection to it. Nice big, I would say, buoy clip style blade. And we'll see if we can toss that one. Where can we toss that one? Let's shrink them all down here a little bit. Yeah, I think we can do it like that. There you go. One last one, which is a slightly older model than the Keen 2, is the Togata. Check that out. I posted pictures of this when I got it, and I think I got this directly from White Mountain Knives. And Morgan contacted me and said, you know, where'd you get that knife? So on and so forth. It has no markings. It is the Togata, but it kind of skipped the laser etching process, I guess. There's no steel name on it. I think it's 20 CV. Could be wrong. Beautiful tanto style with a modified chisel point, blackened grinds. I think that's flat. Fuller, blackened out, and satin everywhere else, with a really nice titanium, kind of an antiqued, I don't know what you call that, kind of a greenish bronze look to it. Really nice. Also a large knife, like a little over 9 inches overall, and about a 3 3/4 inch blade on that guy. Let's squeeze that up at the top, and there we go. Morgan Koens, wow. Ontario, Canada, a fantastic custom maker and designer. Thanks for watching, folks. You be well. Take care. Stay safe.